What's up, y'all? It's your girl, J. Renee with Prison Riot Radio. I'm back this afternoon with the brother Ruk. Welcome back, bro.
Hey, what's up?
So, you know what I'm going to say. Let's jump right into it. The last time we spoke, we was talking about how, they was trying to get somebody on the phone that was could actually listen to what y'all had to say and do something about it. So, did y'all ever get to speak to someone? Or how did that work out?
I think they was forced to. We spoke to, I think it was like the deputy commissioner or somebody that was underneath of the commissioner.
Okay.
And so I think that they was forced to because at some point we ended up calling somebody and having them call directly to the media. So once we called directly to the media and they was going, there was no way for them to really censor us inside the jail.
Right.
Because they tried that. What they tried to do was cut off all the phones and just talk to us through the walkie-talkie.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't get any information out. We negotiated for them to turn the phones back on. The whole angle for us to negotiate turning the phones back on was, one, if they came in, we would be able to tell what was going on as they was coming in if they just started shooting or whatever. And two, we knew we had to break the chain of communication with them and get directly out to the media, and that's how that took place. But yeah, once we started talking to them, they just kept going with the bullshit. They kept trying to sell us this line of, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do what y'all asking. All y'all got to do is, come on, man, ain't nobody going for that shit. All y'all got to do is come out. All y'all got to do is give us this. All y'all got to do is do that. Let some of the inmates go. Let some of the officers go. Let this, let that. It's like, you think motherfuckers came this far to just stop everything as soon as you say it's going to be okay.
Right.
Nah. So that's how that went. Once it got to that point, once we got to the point where we could actually speak to the media, we no longer cared about who they was going to put us in contact with directly because we knew that they had to hear us.
Right. Right. So how did it feel when you finally got to get to the media? So y'all know y'all could really be heard.
That was a moment. You know, there's so much going on that at the time you're not really processing it. But when you saying stuff and the media is repeating the stuff that you're saying on the news and on TV, and you sitting there and y'all like, okay, now we have to really make sure that the things that, once we seen that, that was a moment for us. Because once we seen that, it was like, hold up, let's sit down, let's get focused, let's understand that they're actually putting exactly what we're saying out there word for word, verbatim. So therefore, the message that we want out there, we have to make sure that this message is unified and that this message is directly about the things that we need change that we going through.
Right.
As a whole.
Right.
Because, some of the stuff that we going through, I might not have been going through personally.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff that we have to make sure that we speak on is stuff that other people may be going through. I'm not necessarily, because of the time that I got, a job program that can help me get a job when I go home doesn't necessarily affect me. But we have to make sure that we speak on that because we're speaking for everybody at this point.
Right.
So that's how that was going on. So we had to sit down, make sure that the message was unified and it was coming across the way it was supposed to. And that's what it did for us. I think the biggest thing that it did was make us focus and say, okay, let's regroup and let's make sure that we're doing the right thing and saying the right things.
Right. I'm glad that y'all got connected to the media so y'all could have that opportunity. And I can only imagine how that felt to say, oh man, somebody really listening. Like everybody's listening,
Yeah.
So the fact that y'all could sit down and actually, you know, make sure everything was straight goes to show to the mindset. Like, y'all wasn't crazed and just acting a fool. Like, this was really purposeful and for a purpose. You know what I mean?
Our families too. I never, until you just said that, it brought back another, you know, talking to, you know what I mean, somebody I love, and they like, you can tell people what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell people how fed up you are with what you're going through. And because we try to have this dynamic between us where I don't want you to be sad when I call, you don't want me to be sad, we just want to have a joyous time, uplifting time when we on these phones sometimes. We try to hide, we inside try to hide what we going through sometimes, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in that moment, like when I'm talking to her, it hit her like, damn, this is what's going on. I knew you was going through some shit, but I just didn't know that it was to this point. I didn't know that this shit was this real, this shit was this heavy for shit to go this far. And it just was like, that was a whole moment, a whole realization for everybody involved.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let me ask you this, bro. So when you knew that it was winding down and it was about time to call it to an end, was that an easy decision to make, or was that made for y'all? Like, did they come in, or y'all was like, okay, we finna, you know, we got our grievances out there for the world to hear, so we can pull back?
One of the main things was Miss May.
Mm-hmm.
So we had made a decision, like, okay, so tomorrow, you know, Miss May gotta go. We gotta let Miss May go, right? She, so that was a decision, that was a conversation that was had where people was like, yo, how long can Miss May stay underneath of this before, you know, it's just too much for her. So it was like, all right, so tomorrow, this is what we gonna do.
You have 1 minute left.
Oh, fuck. For me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 comrades standing outside my door, and I took a nap. So I was in the process of 2 comrades, 2 brothers standing outside my door because I was tired as a month. I was up moving around doing stuff the whole time, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take a 20-minute nap. And as I was in the middle of taking a nap, one of the brothers banged on my door like, bro, get up. And that's when the door blew off.
Damn.
And that's what I woke up to. The door blowing off and me having to find other comrades and get them to where I had to go. And then it's just fire and it's just chaos. And it was that's when shit got crazy. But yeah, so now that part wasn't planned at all.
Okay.
So that's what I definitely got to tell you about that, because that shit was like that was a whole situation.
Thank you for using